Now, the SALA Festival is up and running again in 2025, and it includes a project called Face to Face, an intergenerational art exhibition that brings together aged care residents and local students through portrait photography and mixed media works. It is facilitated by Southern Cross Care, supported by the History Trust of South Australia as well. Face to Face, it captures more than just likenesses. It reveals stories, friendships and shared joy across generations. Joining us in the studio is Leah Badger, the Arts Program Manager at Southern Cross Care. And we're also joined on the phone by two residents who took part, Caroline Treloar and Healy. Let's start with you though, Leah. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What was the inspiration for this particular project? How did it come about?
Each year, Southern Cross Care is involved in SALA. We've been involved in the program now for 10 years. And it is all about bringing our residents and our iCreate members together to connect. So I suppose I'd have to say it's all about providing connection.
Now, you've worked on your share of creative projects over the journey with many residents across the sites. What made this particular format so special?
This year we really embraced something new, which was an intergenerational program that involved students. So our residents were partnered with a student and embellished a portrait of themselves, and the student did the same thing. And what was created was beyond fantastic, really. But I have to say, it was just such a wonderful experience for both the resident and the student.
Can you walk us through the process that was involved here when it comes to developing these works?
So it all started with the resident meeting the student in what we called a meet and greet session. And the students and residents had a moment where they shared stories. The students were wonderful in how they supported and listened to the resident, and then they went away and worked on those portraits individually. So the resident worked on their portrait and the student worked on theirs. And then they came back together for a meet, like an actual reveal session, where they both showed their portraits to each other, and that was just an amazing moment.
The other thing as well about this particular program is the scale of it. There's 600 pieces involved here, Leah. How do you coordinate the logistics of so many pieces of art?
It was a huge program. We had over 250 of our aged care residents and community-based iCreate members involved, alongside 330 school students. So you're right, it was a huge program. I think the sheer scale of it is what actually provides the impact, because when you see all of these faces on display at the Migration Museum, it's a celebration of joy between the generations, and what the students have taken from this and heard about our resident stories and our iCreate members, and then put this into their artwork. It is truly heartwarming.
It is 26 minutes past 9. That is the voice of Leah Badger. We are talking about a SALA exhibition which links aged care residents and students, which is on display. Leah, just remind us, where if people are listening to this, where can they go see the exhibition?
So it's currently on display at the Migration Museum, and it is a wonderful display. I encourage you all to visit. There's also a pop-up display at Burnside Village, which gives you an interesting insight into the 600 artworks that are at the Migration Museum.
Stay with me, Leah, because I'd now like to bring in Caroline Treloar, who is a resident at the Carmelite Residential Suite. Caroline, good morning.
Good morning.
What was it like having a student partner come to work with you on this project?
Well, it was wonderful. It was a complete surprise because I'd been involved in SALA some years ago through my work, but I thought it was just fantastic to actually have the school students come in and work with us in Carmelite and get to know them as well as have them do their artwork. So it was just fantastic.
Caroline, if you can, tell us about your portrait. What story does it tell?
Well, it's a kind of wild portrait. It's multicoloured, multi-dimensional. It's not anything I expected, so that's what I like about it.
And how old was the student that you worked alongside?
Oh, about 9. I'm not quite sure, to tell you the truth.
And again, you said it surprised you. What was that sense of feeling that you had when you saw the finished work for the first time?
Well, I thought, isn't that fabulous? That's how a young person sees me. And it made me feel really good.
Caroline, stay with us if you can, because I'd like to bring in Lib Healy, who is another resident at the Carmelite and also took part in this particular project. Lib, good morning.
Good morning.
Did you learn anything from your student that you weren't expecting?
No, not really. He was an exceptional little boy, and I really loved, pardon me, seeing him. He really was just a delight.
And I know I asked Caroline this, but how did you feel when you saw the finished work for the first time, Lib?
Well, I must admit at first I thought, oh, dear me, with the crinkly face and, looked showing my age real well and truly. But, really it was amazing what they did. And the organisers really are to be congratulated because what they've done has been wonderful.
Libby, are you hoping that it fosters some sort of longer connection with students or the student that you worked with?
Definitely. It would be lovely. As an ex-teacher of junior school children, I really do miss, the many, many children that I used to have. And so, I hope they do continue it because it's well and worth, really worth it.
And Lib, what message would you give others about potentially sharing their story through art?
Well, I think I'd encourage them really because we really are very lucky. When I first moved in here, I was a bit aggro really, but I soon learnt that we're very lucky. They are exceptionally good to us, and so we are fortunate.
Well, Lib Healy, resident at the Carmelite Residential Suite, thank you for joining us. And Caroline Treloar, thank you to you for joining us as well this morning.
Yes, it has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you both. Back to you, Leah Badger. Do you think this project may have shifted any perceptions about ageing, creativity and connection?
Oh, absolutely. To see the barriers break down between students looking at our Residents and I Create members as more than just, older people. They're seeing them as real human beings and really connecting with their stories. And what stood out to me was how they listened and then reflected that in their artwork. I think that was the most powerful thing, to see that this new generation is out there. They're curious, they're caring, and they're listening.
Is there one particular work that, and I know this might be like trying to choose your favourite child, Leah Badger, but is there one particular work of the 600 that stands out? And why?
Oh, Rory, that is a big question. I mean, if I had to be honest, I'd say they're all amazing. But I suppose we do have a resident. His name is Norman, and he is 108 years of age.
Wow.
I know, incredible, and involved in this program. And he was partnered with a student, Ella, from Healy High. We tried to match the sites to local schools so that they could continue the relationship.
Well, that's exactly right, yeah.
But his story was reflected in Ella's artwork by using a Christmas tree to show that he was born on Christmas Eve. But she also included a quote to say that he's working in government with the best 40 years of his life, which I thought was so cute. And I didn't even know that he worked in forestry in government, but there she had it. And it's wonderful. Well,
Leah Badger, the Arts Program Manager at Southern Cross Care, thank you for your time this morning, for coming in and sharing face-to-face with us. And if you do want to go have a look, head along to the Migration Museum in Adelaide. It is open to the public every day from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. And there is, as Leah pointed out earlier, a pop-up display of selected works at Burnside Village, which is also up and running. Leah Badger, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.